The Hotel Sabine that stands at the corner of Proctor and Waco is not Port Arthur's first hotel to carry that name. The city founder, Arthur Stillwell, built an earlier Sabine Hotel on Lakeshore Drive during the city's early years. That building was destroyed by a fire in 1903. The building seen here today came a generation later and originally had a different name. In May of 1928, Dr. E. W. Vaughan announced plans for a 10-story hotel at Proctor and Waco. The original plan called for 140 rooms with a design that could eventually be expanded. The project was to cost slightly more than $500,000, roughly $9.4 million in 2025 dollars. The architect was Joseph Finger, a prominent Houston designer whose work included several major Texas hotels and later Houston City Hall. Ground was broken on August 13, 1928. Its steel-reinforced concrete brick stood on 640 steel-laced cypress pilings driven 60 feet into the Gulf Coast soil, engineered to shrug off the fiercest coastal storms. Finished in the Renaissance Revival style, it was, and remains, the tallest building in Port Arthur. Intended for more than just overnight guests, its second-floor dining room seated about 175 people for banquets, dinners, and dancing. 24 double-corner rooms included all the luxuries of the era. Behind the lobby was a coffee shop with seating for more than 70 people between its tables and counter. By the mid-1930s, the Vaughan name was gone and the building had become the Hotel Sabine. For decades, it was part of the downtown Port Arthur's social life. One small story from 1940 captures that role. The Port Arthur News announced that a local couple would be married publicly on the stage at the Strand Theater, and after the ceremony, the bridal suite at the Hotel Sabine would begin their honeymoon. It was simply part of life downtown. In the 1970s, that era was ending. The changing fortunes of the region had moved much of the action elsewhere, and downtown Port Arthur crumbled. The hotel rooms were converted into apartments, which remained in use until the late 1980s. After that, the building became vacant, and the city took ownership in 1992. Proposals came and went, ideas of converting it into a private prison for nonviolent offenders, low-income housing, and even blowing it up as a movie set. None of those happened. Demolition was openly being considered, with cost estimates ranging from $500,000 to $1 million. That never happened either. Instead, the building survived long enough to be a contributing property to the downtown Port Arthur Historic District, which was added to the National Historic Register of Places in 2021. Today, the Hotel Sabine is still standing, vacant and fenced off, but its situation has changed. In July 2026, Port Arthur announced it had received a $2.46 million EPA grant to address hazardous materials, including asbestos, lead-based paint, and to prepare the property for future redevelopment. The city's redevelopment concept has included a mix of housing, offices, and retail space. For nearly 40 years, the Hotel Sabine seemed caught between restoration and demolition. Now, substantial federal cleanup funding has been committed to the property. Whether that eventually leads to a complete restoration remains unresolved. But after surviving decades of abandonment and more than one proposal to tear it down, the old Hotel Sabine still has another chance.